Welcome back to the Thinking Crypto podcast, your home for cryptocurrency news and interviews. If you are new here, please hit that subscribe button as well as the thumbs up button and leave a comment below. If you're listening on a podcast platform such as Spotify, Apple, or Google, please leave a 5-star rating and review. It supports the podcast and it doesn't cost you anything. This content is brought to you by Uphold, which makes crypto investing easy. I've been a user of Uphold since 2017. They're one of my go-to exchanges. They have 10 plus million users, 250 plus cryptocurrencies, and they're available in 150 countries. You can also trade precious metals and equities on Uphold. If you'd like to learn more, please visit the link in the description. All right, everybody, we got to start off with Bitcoin. Huge day for Bitcoin, massive pump. It surged past 29,000. Right now, it's sitting at $29,800. Some exchange showed Bitcoin touched 30K already, but CoinMarketCap, which has the aggregate data, is not showing that as yet. But it might be right around the corner. It might happen tonight. So Bitcoin up over 5% from a 24-hour perspective, up over 7% from a 7-day perspective. Ethereum is also moving pretty strong. Right now, it's over $1,900. And we're seeing the other alts and so forth are moving strong as well. Like XRP is over 51 cents. BNB is at 318 or near $319. Cardano just over 39 cents. So as always, guys, Bitcoin moves and then the alts follow. Bitcoin has the gravitational pull, right? The liquidity goes into Bitcoin, it pumps, then it gets into an overbought zone. Then that liquidity trickles down to the altcoins. And as I've been sharing for about 12 months now, guys, I'm expecting Bitcoin's retracement. I've been sharing this same chart. I have not deviated from it. And if you just look at the green candles, right, it aligns with my little squiggly lines. And of course, the pump doesn't happen in a matter of a few weeks. It happens over months. So we're seeing Bitcoin pumping, building support levels, consolidating, then pumping again. So here, I'm expecting a move to maybe just over 30K, but how high it goes, does it go to 32K or 35K? It's hard because there are some resistance levels here, some key resistance levels. So we'll have to wait and see. I am cautiously optimistic. I am bullish. Don't get me wrong. I've been saying that there's a bullish and a bearish scenario out there, right? You can't ignore the bears. You can't ignore the bulls. But I believe the bullish scenario has the higher probability of playing out because we hit the bottom and the markets were so oversold. It was only up that we could go. We couldn't go lower because there was no more sellers, right? So that's the situation we're in. And, if Bitcoin was to hit about the 40 to 50K right now, my chart shows about like June or early July, where we may see that. Now, there's no guarantee it's going to do that. It may top out at 35K and roll over, right? There's no guarantees here. So I'm starting to take profits as soon as we cross over 30K and take profits in stages as we work our way up. And then as Bitcoin rolls over, as it's done historically, and then consolidates and moves sideways, until the Bitcoin halving of next year, I'll be dollar cost averaging after the rollover. Now, there are some who are saying, hey, Bitcoin is going to new all-time highs this year. Well, God bless. I hope it does. I will not be sad about that. I'll be happy because I'll be cashing in. But the history of Bitcoin, the market cycles do not show that. That will be a deviation from the 4-year cycles and how things have moved. So, once again, if it does that, I'll be happy, but I don't think that's very probable. Now, I could be wrong and you will see what happens, but I'm not taking that risk. There are macroeconomic factors out there, which, we're not in a euphoric stage right now even in traditional markets. People are scared. There's recession, interest rates, and so forth. So we'll see what happens, but this is how I'm looking at it. Here's what one analyst, 360 Trader, said. He called out Capo, who's a perma bear on Twitter, has a huge following. He said, Capo fueled this, as did all the other people shorting. This was a leverage short, but whipping today. If 30K doesn't hold a resist, this has 32,300-ish written all over it. So I hope he's right. I'll be taking profits over 30K. And I'm not cashing out everything. I have my long-term hold bags, and I got, kind of the short-term bags that I bought the dip. Bitcoin was at 17, 18, and 19, 20. I was buying all those dips, guys. So nice swing trade. I did that for some alts as well. And then, take some profits off the table, guys, because there's also a lot of headwinds crypto is facing right now, where exchanges are getting shut down. They're forced to leave the United States. Some are getting their banking cut off, right? So there's no ACH. That's a problem. So it happened with Kraken, and who knows what else the government's going to do. So we're in the then they fight you phase right now. We're facing a lot of headwinds. So just keep all these things in mind. You got to look at it holistically, right? Not just from one angle, not have tunnel vision. You got to look at the entire landscape of the market. When you do that, you'll know what's plans to take, what strategy to execute for risk mitigation and to protect your capital, right? Wealth preservation, super important. So that's how I'm looking at it, friends. And here today, we got the New York Times posting some propaganda, putting out a hit piece on Bitcoin. And boy, did they get called out on Twitter and social media, because the article had a lot of wrong things in it. They even had misspellings. They even had the locations of the Bitcoin miners in Texas, the name of the counties and cities wrong. It was just amateur hour. And, I tweeted out that this is probably Warren Buffett and Charlie Munger coming out there funding this hit piece. So once again, we're in that then they fight you phase. Here is what Dennis Porter said. He called out the New York Times, saying the New York Times hit piece dropped and it's everything we expected. Sad to see the New York Times attack Bitcoin mining despite the incredible outreach by our community to engage and share the other side of the story. Sometimes the clicks are more important than the truth. So the authors, these supposed journalists, got destroyed on Twitter, getting called out left and right. But once again, you got to expect this. And I share this information not for those of you who are listening who are advanced and seasoned, and this is your third or second bull market, right? But those of you who are new, because when you see stuff like this, you're like, oh my God, the New York Times is saying this. But you have to read between the lines. You have to look at the context. You have to look at the angle. What are they trying to do here, right? And we know there's anti-crypto people out there, a lot of big names, once again, like Warren Buffett, Charlie Munger, who are anti-Bitcoin and crypto, and they'll put hit pieces out there, right? They'll fund articles and so forth. Now, we got some interesting news around CryptoGPT. So AI-focused blockchain CryptoGPT raises $10 million funding at a $250 million valuation. So it's great to see funding is still coming in for crypto projects and tokens and infrastructure companies. And remember what I did said in my predictions for 2023. I said AI is going to be a big narrative. So really great to see these crypto companies are still getting funding, and I had bought some fetch or FET token, which is part of fetch.ai. I actually swung traded. I still have some that I'm holding, but I swung traded and took some nice profits. And in fact, CryptoGPT pumped on this news. So CryptoGPT recently rolled out AI assistant Alex, and it's developing its ZK rollup layer 2 blockchain and a data to AI engine which collects, encrypts, and transfers data for commercial applications. The Series A round, which was led by market maker DWF Labs, which has emerged as one of the most active investors during the crypto bear market, gave the AI-focused blockchain a $250 million valuation, according to a statement. CryptoGPT recently rolled out Web3-focused AI assistant Alex, as mentioned before. Here's a quote. Instead of applying for ZK technology to payments, CryptoGPT integrates it for private data transfers, CryptoGPT said in the statement on Monday. The proceeds of the new funding will be used to grow its developer team globally and build on its regional presence in the Asian markets, said Dejan Arja, if I'm saying that right, co-founder and chief technology officer of the AI-focused blockchain. CryptoGPT's broad aim is to allow users to earn money by monetizing their data across fitness, dating, gaming, and education. It also plans to roll out non-fungible tokens that store the owner's activity data. Now, as always, my friends, you want to do your own research, not just because you see they got the funding, you go invest in it. And of course, you never want to buy into a pump. You wait for the pullbacks, but always do your homework. Now, personally, as I said, like I invested in the Fetch token. I'll be looking at more AI tokens. Because I think there's going to be a speculative narrative and a run up of these crypto tokens, similar to what we saw in the last bull market, DeFi summer, right? All the DeFi coins went crazy. So that's what I'm expecting. And you sometimes learn, having been here for multiple bull markets and bear markets, narratives are really, really key for which coins may do well. It's not how I want it to be or what, if I prefer it that way, but rather that is how it is. So you have to learn the markets, learn what's happening, and try to jump on those trends. But as always, do your own research. Now, the Winklevoss Twins, founders of the Gemini crypto exchange, well, apparently they lent their crypto platform Gemini $100 million. This is per Bloomberg. The brothers had tried to get outside investment, Bloomberg said. So it's been rough for them, given the whole Genesis trading situation, and they earn users funds that were stuck there. Lots of problems for Gemini. And, they weren't one of the largest exchanges. They were kind of small. So I'm sure they took some massive hits. But the Winklevoss Twins, they're Bitcoin billionaires, right? They have a ton of money. They were earlier to Bitcoin. Obviously, they had money from this Facebook settlement as well. So they're okay. So they, I guess, giving a loan to their business here, and we'll see, what comes out from this. It seems like they're trying to revamp the company and help it to give it a fresh look and bring it back into the whole limelight and expand. But we'll see, but this is from Bloomberg citing anonymous sources. So we'll see, what additional news comes out. But I think everybody's feeling the pain, and especially the Winklevoss Twins, Gemini at least. Now, Coinbase head of exchange departs and plans to start a new crypto project. Before joining Coinbase in September 20, Vishal Gupta had been the head of USD Coin at Circle and a vice president at Goldman Sachs. So it looks like he's heading out to start his own thing. That's great. If he was leaving the industry to go back to TradFi, that would be bad news. But just heads up that he's leaving, and he tweeted out about this. And looks like he's going to maybe start some sort of crypto startup. I'm actually very excited, given his pedigree, Goldman Sachs, Circle, and Coinbase. I'm sure he's seen a lot, and we'll see what he decides to come up with. Now, South Korean exchange GDAC hacked for nearly $13 million. The exchange said hackers transferred the crypto assets from a hot wallet to an unidentified wallet. I'm not even going to go through all the details here. I bring this up to remind you all, not your keys, not your coins. Folks, I hold 95% of my crypto on hardware wallets, where my private keys are backed up, and I have things, safeguards put into place that if anything gets lost, so I can recover and so forth. I highly recommend that you custody your own crypto. Don't leave it on exchanges, even the most popular exchange like Coinbase or so, right? Which may have insurance. I don't leave all my crypto on there, guys. I self-custody. Do I have some crypto on these exchanges? Yes, that I swing trade, or I maybe bought and I didn't move it right away, because I know if that goes away, it's not my entire bag and holdings. Now, the wallet that I use is the Ledger, the Nano S and the Nano X. If you want to purchase one of those, links will be in the description. But it's super important, guys, especially some of these smaller exchanges that are in different countries. Just be careful. Check if they have insurance and so forth, if you absolutely need to leave it on there. And I would recommend you custody the majority of your crypto in a hardware wallet, guys. It would really suck, to lose your crypto in a hack. Just imagine your funds get stolen, and these exchanges, once again, if they don't have insurance, they're not going to be able to replenish your funds, which really sucks. Now, Hong Kong's finance chief pushes for Web3 adoption. Hong Kong's financial chief said he has plans to boost Web3 industry adoption through proper regulation and development. things are moving ahead globally, folks. I always like to remind you all, crypto is a global asset class. It is not specific to the United States. And despite all the headwinds we're facing right now, crypto will continue to flourish and grow. Yes, we may slow down in certain areas, especially here in the United States, but disruption is happening. And there were people who were fighting the electricity and the light bulb, and there were people who were fighting the automobile, and people who were fighting the internet, and much more throughout history. They fought it, right? They tried to stop it, but you can't stop disruption, and it's going to find a way. The technology's here, the genie's out the bottle. So Financial Secretary Paul Chan Mopo said in a blog on April 9th that global competition in the development of Web3 is strengthening, and Hong Kong plans to adopt a strategy embracing proper regulation and promoting development. He outlined steps the economy will take to foster an innovative environment. First, virtual asset providers will be introduced to a licensing system in June. The government will run its flagship tech event titled 2023 Digital Economy Summit from April 13th through the 14th. Leaders from tech giants like Alibaba, Baidu, Tencent, Huawei are scheduled to speak at the event. Hong Kong Special Administrative Region Chief Executive John Lee and Hong Kong Monetary Authority Director Clara Chan are among the other speakers. The financial secretary also pointed out that education and awareness around Web3 is growing in Hong Kong, with 4 large-scale related seminars being held in the last week. So this is the stuff that should be happening in the United States, but we got clowns like Gary Gensler and Elizabeth Warren and some other fools who are trying to stifle this and roadblock this technology. And we know why. The agenda is to slow it down so the banking incumbents can come in and take over. And they're trying to kill all these startups, right? These crypto companies that are earning millions and billions. They don't like that. The big banks want control. The traditional financial giants want control. So that's what's happening. And don't be dismayed. Once again, this is a global asset class. Just look at all the things that have happened with all the bank runs and the shutting off of crypto banking and all the enforcement actions. Look at Bitcoin, right? Still moving. Like Bitcoin doesn't care, right? The market's still moving because it's not dependent on the United States. It is a global asset class. Now, there's another hack I wanted to let you guys know. Apparently, Sushiswap was hacked, and they were able to recover hundreds of ETH after a $3.3 million smart contract bug exploit. So just a reminder, folks, DeFi, I've said it a lot of times, that DeFi 1.0 is flawed, as was the internet 1.0, right? So just be careful if you're using any type of DeFi setup and so forth. I personally am not. I stake and I earn passive income that way. I'm invested. And like I said, I keep my majority of my crypto on hardware wallets. So I reduce any type of risk, with exploits and hacks and so forth. And look, anything can happen. I'm not saying hardware wallets are 100% fail-safe, but at least they're as close to being, to the highest level of safety versus some of these things which are still new. And if you go back to the early days of the internet, there were a lot of hacks, people's credit cards and things getting exploited during the early days of e-commerce. That I'm telling you guys, I saw a lot of it back in the 90s. And that didn't mean the internet wasn't going to stay, and that didn't mean e-commerce wasn't going to grow on the internet. Of course it did. The technology got better. There was mass adoption, and look at where it's at now. The same will happen here for crypto, blockchain, and DeFi and all these things. So you got to have the macro outlook and be patient as well. And like I said, take profits where you can. And let's see what Bitcoin's going to do, my friends. Right now, let's see, refresh CoinMarketCap. It is at, TradingView is saying it's at $29,931. So, man, 30K, not far away, guys. Going to crack 30K tonight. And like I said, I'll be looking to take profits. And if it goes to 32K, 33K, taking profits off the table. And hopefully it makes a run up to 40 and then to 50. And we'll continue to take profits there. All right, guys, let me know what you think. Leave your thoughts and comments below. Hit the thumbs up button, share this video, and I'll talk to you all later.